The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage at the edge of a great forest, lived a mother pig with her three piglets, Oliver, Penny, and George. They were a happy family, but as the piglets grew older, their mother decided it was time for them to venture out into the world and build homes of their own. A new beginning. One sunny morning, Mother Pig called her children to her side. "My dear ones," she said, "you have grown so much. It's time for you to build your own homes and make your way in the world. Remember, whatever you do it the best you can." The three piglets hugged their mother tightly, promising to visit often, and set off down the winding path that led into the forest. Oliver's straw house. Oliver, the eldest, was the first to decide on his building materials. As they walked through a golden field, he saw bundles of straw stacked high. "This straw is so light and easy to work with," Oliver said. "I can build my house quickly and have more time to relax." "This straw is so light and easy to work with," Oliver said. "I can build my house quickly and have more time to relax." Penny and George watched as Oliver gathered the straw and began constructing his house. By the end of the day, Oliver had built a cozy little hut with a thatched roof. He invited his siblings inside. "Look how comfortable it is," Oliver exclaimed, "and it only took me a day to build." Penny and George admired the house, but felt it might not be very strong. "Are you sure it will keep you safe?" Penny asked. "Of course," Oliver replied confidently. "Now, let's enjoy the evening." Penny's stick house. The next day, Penny spotted a grove of tall, slender trees. "These sticks are sturdier than straw," she thought. "I'll build my house with them." She spent 2 days cutting the sticks and tying them together to form walls and a roof. Her house was charming, with a little wooden door and windows adorned with flower boxes. George visited her and said, "Your house looks lovely, Penny, but do you think it's strong enough to withstand the wind and rain?" Penny smiled and replied, "It's stronger than Oliver's straw house, and it didn't take too long to build. I think it will be just fine." George's brick house. George, the youngest but most thoughtful of the three, decided to build his house with bricks. He knew it would take more time and effort, but he wanted a house that was strong and durable. He found a nearby brickyard and spent a week transporting bricks to his chosen spot. Then, he carefully laid each brick, using mortar to hold them together. He built sturdy walls, a solid roof, and even a chimney. Oliver and Penny came to see his progress. "George, your house is taking so long to build," Oliver said. "Why not choose something easier?" George wiped his brow and replied, "I want a house that will keep me safe and last a long time. Hard work pays off." The big bad wolf arrives. Not far from where the piglets built their homes, a hungry wolf roamed the forest. He had been watching the piglets and licking his lips in anticipation. One evening, the wolf approached Oliver's straw house. He knocked on the door and said in a sweet voice, little pig, let me come in." Oliver, peeking through the window, saw the wolf's sharp teeth and replied, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin." The wolf's eyes narrowed. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." He took a deep breath and blew with all his might. The straw house couldn't withstand the force, and it collapsed in an instant. Oliver squealed in fright and ran as fast as he could to Penny's stick house. The wolf at Penny's door. The wolf, still hungry, followed Oliver to Penny's house. He knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me come in." Penny and Oliver pressed their ears to the door and replied together, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf growled, "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down." He took an even deeper breath and blew with tremendous force. The stick house creaked and groaned before collapsing into a heap. Oliver and Penny screamed and ran to George's brick house, the wolf hot on their heels. Safe in the brick house, George welcomed his siblings into his sturdy brick home and quickly bolted the door. They explained what had happened, and George nodded solemnly. The wolf arrived and banged on the door. Little pigs, let me come in," George replied firmly, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf bared his teeth. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down." He took the deepest breath yet and blew with all his strength. But no matter how hard he tried, the brick house stood firm. Frustrated and exhausted, the wolf devised another plan. He spotted the chimney and thought, "I'll climb down and catch those pigs by surprise." The wolf's downfall. George heard scratching sounds on the roof and quickly realized the wolf's plan. He whispered to his siblings, "Quick, let's light a fire in the fireplace." They gathered wood and lit a roaring fire. George then placed a large pot of water over the flames. As the wolf slid down the chimney, he felt the heat but couldn't stop. He landed with a splash into the boiling water. With a yelp of pain, the wolf shot back up the chimney, his fur singed and tail smoking. He ran into the forest, never to bother the three little pigs again. Lessons learned. Oliver and Penny hugged George. "Your hard work and patience saved us," Oliver said. "We should have listened to Mother and built stronger houses." Penny nodded. "From now on, we'll remember that doing things the right way, even if it's harder, is always best." The three little pigs decided to live together in George's brick house, supporting and caring for one another. They often visited their mother, who was proud of the lessons they had learned. And so, Oliver, Penny, and George lived happily and safely in their sturdy brick home, knowing that hard work and perseverance always pay off.